Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, March 23rd, 10 p.m. Mountain Time 2020. The models are in, and it appears as if April is going to be getting very cold, and there could be some snow in the southern mountains of the Appalachians. But the big story, winter is officially over. Don't tell that to the snow in the Northeast, moving through right now. Take a look at that global warming goodness. Keep calm. It's boom time. Intensifying coastal storm to unleash thumping of heavy snow in New England. Who knew? Maybe she did.
It may officially be spring, but just take a look at some of these snowfall reports that have come in over the last 24 hours. Quite a few locations picking up over a half of a foot of snow.
And we can confirm this.
It's been a heavy wet snow for people, and as we continue into Tuesday, you'll notice that the snowfall will eventually start to taper off here. It's not going to last too long. A lot of this is going to start melting.
Well, we knew that, but thank you anyway. So there you have it. More snow forecast for the Sierra Nevadas as well. A weather system from the Gulf of Alaska will bring more snow, colder temperatures, and gusty winds to the Northern California mountains on Tuesday and Wednesday. The heaviest period of snow is expected Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. Snow levels will generally range 3,000 to 4,000 feet Tuesday, with lower at times on Wednesday. Snow accumulations from Tuesday through Wednesday will range from half a foot to 1 foot in many areas. The high Sierras in the Sierra Nevada range from the mid-20s to the lower 40s. Expect overnight lows in the teens and 20s. Well, sounds like it's going to snow in the Sierras. Too bad the ski resorts are closed, but I digress. SoCal gets some record rain, which they need to end that drought. Showers expected through Monday morning, and moisture. Now, wind, snow, is forecast through Thursday at Tahoe, and there's another resort closed. Could have been a banner year, record year, extending well into the summer, but it's turning out to be a bummer. They may reopen. Forecast rain and mountain snow return to western Washington. Snow levels above 2,500. And there will be rain at times, and temps will be much cooler than we've gotten used to in the last week. It's also a bit breezy along the coastal areas. Snow for the mountains is above 2,500. So heads up, Washington State. We'll check the models shortly. Latest snowfall totals coming from the Chi-Town area. They're not significant, but it is the end of March, which makes them significant. So I'm on 3 inches, Carbon Hill. Grundy County picking up the big numbers. Coal City, 5.1. Kendall County, 2.5 at Plainfield. 1.6 in Buffalo Grove. Will County saw 4.7 inches at Beecher. 3.6 in Romeoville. Where's my Juliet? Well, maybe she's in Farmington, getting sucked up by this tornado. Whoa! Where did that video go? It was awesome. I love that soundtrack. Let's try it again. Man, they're throttling us. So this is in Farmington, just south of here, about an hour and a half, just the other day. Over the weekend, tornado risk will increase over the storm-ravaged Tennessee Tuesday. Probably the same system that created that little tornado in Farmington the other day. Here's your severe thunderstorm outlook Monday night. Large hail downpours, Wichita through Springfield. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. So that's big news there. So heads up if you're in that region of Oklahoma City, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. It's going to be some severe weather picking up there. Sorry about that. Had to let the dog in. Moving on. Severe storms also possible for most parts of Kansas. Rain and thunderstorms will become likely overnight across much of Kellyland, along and south of I-70. Only a handful of the storms will become severe, with some hail 1 to 2 inch in diameter possible. And this hail will increase as we enter April and May, obviously. Over 10,000 hail reports in the last 24 hours from hailreports.com is what I just saw. Unsettled weather in the west, severe storms in the mid-south. Cold air building in the west this week will support continued unsettled weather, low elevation rain, and mountain snow. Further east, a few severe thunderstorms, including a potential for hail and wind damage, and a tornado or two will be possible over the Tennessee Valley and southern Appalachians. So heads up, head over to weather.gov and click on your county for your watches and warnings. Snowfall totals as of 7 a.m. today. You could see the system that moved through Chi-Town dumping most of that snow, 4 to 6 inches in many of these areas. And tomorrow we're going to be picking up some heavy totals in the northeast. So heads up. And you could see some heavy snow falling into the Sierras, 8 to 10 inches in some areas. Already a foot or more falling as of this morning. And that's because the total snow mass for the northern hemisphere is record. Similar to last year and the year before. But we are still 400 gigatons above normal. And this may play out laterally as we move forward. So we're going to be watching it closely. Let's check the models for you. You're looking at the GFS total snowfall. This is your Tuesday, which is your lose day in the Northeast. Boom, right there. 11 to 12 inches of Sierra cement dumping in the Northeast tomorrow. And then we have some snow here in Colorado. It's pouring outside. We had a little grapple earlier, and then heavy snow moving into the Sierras there. You could see the entire Cascades down through northern and southern Sierras getting snow through Thursday. Look at that. Also, regions that are in drought, like Nevada and Utah, also picking up some significant moisture. Then another quick system, a clipper is going to move through Wisconsin and northern Mich. Little flurries in Iowa. But take a look at this. South Dakota is going to be really hit, and the southern mountains here. Picking up quite a package right there, April 8th. And we're going to get to the bottom of that. Take a look at your April 8th. That's cold. That's much colder than what we're experiencing now. I'll bring you back till now and just watch how we go through March 24th, 25th, cold in the west, 26th, getting pretty chilly, 27th, 28th, 29th. Watch what happens here. Watch this cold air up in Canada start coming down. Whoa! March 31st, April 1st. This doesn't look like spring at all. This looks like it's the polar vortex breaking down. Look at this plunge of cold air coming down into the Northeast right here. That is a beast. That's for April 8th. We're talking 18 degrees to 8 degrees in Maine, 22 potentially near Philly, 30 degrees all the way down in Georgia for April 8th. That could be bad for a lot of people planting food down there. There will be freeze warnings in the second week of April based on these models. So heads up. And let's check soil temperatures valid Monday, the 23rd of March through the 20th. These temps are cold. You can't plant anything up here in the green zone. We got to get 40 to 45 before we can even put a potato in the ground. That's got to move all the way over here. It doesn't happen until May. And if it's going to get colder in April, that's going to be very difficult for planting up here. Still frozen soil in this region. This is all frozen ground in the dark. Still frozen. Now let's talk about soybean complex. Tearing it up today. Soybean prices closed 21 cents higher. Wheat up 23%. It's a spike. But rental payments could impact U.S. corn and soybean acreage. Get ready. Get set. Let's estimate 2020. There's going to be more food planted, which isn't even food, than ever before. And that's going to be a problem because the majority of this acreage planted is like corn, soybeans. Are we even going to be trading with China? What are we going to do with the soybeans? Soybean oil for everyone. GMO, yummy. And the corn, it's not going into the ethanol. A lot of ethanol plants shutting down. The economy's collapsing. Gas is basically free. It's $1.40 in some areas. And there is no spike in gas prices in the near future. But there is going to be prospective planting reports provides initial indication that potential acreage allotment for spring crops set the tone for corn and soybean production potential for 2020 will increase. Yeah, increases in soybean and corn acreage for 2020. Why? Anybody's guess. It's not actual food we eat. It's the food. It's the product. It's the commodities that multinational corporations use to kill you, period. Hello, Doritos. I love them. I buy organic now. They make them. White cheddar much. Seismic update. No quakes of note. Significant activity worldwide. 4.3 kicking off in Cerros Valley. Utah still rocking. Heads up. And Croatia. I'm sure these little tremblers are getting some panties in a bunch. As big as 3.0 just moments ago. We have some deep tremblers in Fiji. Here, 497 kilometers of 5.3. This could express at 6 or greater magnitude at the surface. So there's our current watch zone, Fiji. We have some definite volcanic activity here at Tanaga in the Aleutians and in the Kamchatka. So just a heads up there. Worldwide volcano news update. Sakurajima exploded to just a few hundred feet. And no other major activity. Reventador to 16,000, Popo to 20,000, and so on and so forth. Check the links. Now, here's the problem with what's going on today, and we're going to cover this more than once tonight. Experts raised increased warning over active volcanoes amid high-risk activity. If you read this article, it's talking about Yellowstone. We've already covered that this is fear-mongering nonsense, that there is no imminent eruption, and this headline would make you think that there is. And it goes on to talk about what we've already covered, the inflation in the area, the fact that Steamboat Geyser has had a record year. It's because of movement of magma in the subsurface. It's always moving around Yellowstone. It's been moving since we discovered it. And those hotspots move around. But just like any other article, if you read the last sentence of the whole thing, in fact, if you average the eruption intervals, there's a 2.1 blah, blah, blah. So in reality, and they've left the space out there. Look at how pathetic this rag is. They didn't even know how to edit it. So in reality, even if you tried to make an argument that Yellowstone was going to erupt, it won't be overdue for 70,000 years, said Lowenstein. So why is your headline so false, is my question. Well, here's another false headline. A new kind of light in the universe, as if it just showed up. No, you're just picking it up. That's how baffled you are, scientists. Super Planckian material emits light that exceeds the limit of natural laws. Now, that's because the natural laws are incorrect. Like the model of the sun, the model of the cosmos, and all of our theories on planetary formation, accretionary disks, and all that garbage nonsense. All fake, all disproven, time and time again, and yet no one changes the theories in the textbooks because no one cares. Science has gotten to a point where the only way you care is if you're getting paid from a corporation. Then you better do that research. You better make that discovery, whether it's real or not. Which is why I smoke pot. Anyway, a new kind of light just popped up in the universe. Hasn't been here forever. And scientists are baffled. It's super Planckian. They even gave it an awesome name. Now, here's a more awesome views for more doomists and gloomists. Many of you email me constantly about methane and how I never talk about it and it's going to kill us all. And I saw a YouTube that said we're all going to die from methane. Well, good. I guarantee that whoever produced that has never been correct in anything he said. But if you want to see the new 3D view of methane tracking sources, well, there will be a link below that will blow your methane mind. NASA's new 3D portrait of methane concentration shows the world's second largest contributor of greenhouse warming through methane. And it comes from the tropics. Why we're not taxing the tropics is anybody's guess. It's frickin' tropics. Fossil hunters find evidence of 555 million year old bilateral worm that they claim is a human relative. They're baffled, apparently, by the fact that anyway. Discovery of the oldest bilateral form of the Ediacaran of South Australia. Now, this is the fauna which is linked to the Burgess Shale. Yes, the Cambrian explosion. And if you want to read the whole article, you have to pay $75 for a single day. That's science. They don't want you to get it. Ecuador exposes the skeletons of ancient race of giant humans, 7 times bigger than modern humans. This is coming from Archaeology World, which is a mag, and also a rag, based on this performance here. Ecuador exposes the skeletons of an ancient race of humans, 7 times bigger than modern humans. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, is this full disclosure? Until I just read through the second paragraph where it says a half a dozen human skeletons from the early 1400s to mid 1500s were confirmed to have been discovered, varying from 7 feet and 8 feet. Does that mean that humans are 1 foot tall? No, it means they're 1.2 feet tall, based on this headline. So I delved a little deeper because if they do have this data, now let's talk about it. If a half a dozen human skeletons, 7 to 8 feet tall, were found, that's significant. But the article isn't completely wrong. Father Carlos Vaca, a Catholic priest, guarded for decades the remains of skeletons of immense size. Now, this is also a false claim. What he actually guarded was fragments of a skeleton, joints, pieces of bone, none of them which were larger than a baseball. But what they showed was a remarkable physiology, which any anthropologist or archaeologist or taxonomist or paleontologist would agree is hominid and human. Now, these humans were 7 meters tall. And that is what the false article was alluding to. And if you come to Ecuador for the last 2 years, they actually have created a life-size version of what that human would look like that came from the bones, the relics from this Catholic priest. And I have a quick video that I can share with you, and it will blow your mind. Well, not so much in the presentation because that's not so good, but just listen.
Plus foot tall, ancient giant skeletons are now on exhibit for the world to see. They are the giants of Ecuador, the Ecuadorian giants, over 7 meters tall. In Loja province of southern Ecuador and the Peru border, there have been many strange relics that have been uncovered. Bones and full skeletons, very similar to those of humans but of incredible size. These skeletons, these ancient artifacts, have been watched over for many years by several guardians in the beautiful valleys of that province. By far, the most famous and well-known of these guardians was Father Carlos Miguel Vaca, who guarded until his death in 1999 several bones and fragments unearthed from the site called Chanjayminas, which translates means God's Cemetery. Several fragments were redirected to the Smithsonian
In case you missed that, which translates means, is what she was saying.
Institute in Washington of the United States for people to study their density, age, and weight, etc. This was broadcast on television.
Okay, so here are the artifacts, the bone fragments in question. Here is a large piece of that anatomy and some other large fragments. Here is an obsidian stone tool that is probably 11 inches long. And if you were to hold it, it'd be like 3 pounds. So a normal human would not be able to use that tool unless it was attached to a stick and was actually some kind of a
Television program for Ecuador, which lasted
executioner's tool. But so they have these large tools, flint tools, and then these very large bones. From that, they extrapolated the skeletons. And so you can see them here. 7-meter high hominids were walking in the jungles of Ecuador just 600 years ago, potentially. And that's pretty fascinating. which is one of the reasons why I do this type of research, because I'm trying to get to the bottom of all of the lies that have been peddled to me. Now, portable pocket-sized rock art has been discovered in an Indonesian cave. 20,000-year-old rock art. Pocket size. You could bring this with you. This is a piece of limestone that they've carved a sun in, or a geometric shape that means something, but it's 20,000 years old. Now, as I was reading the article, and I've seen this relic come out in the last week, they're claiming that this is a picture of a buffalo. So they lost me on that one. But this is definitely something. This is a geometric shape, 20,000, carved 20,000 years ago in a piece of limestone. Totally amazing. Mind blowing. And that's a boom. Hope you got something out of the video. Keep calm. I know we all have to stay home. Unless we live in rural areas, then we can go into the woods. But this is a time for reflection. This is a time to learn how to grow your own food indoors in plastic water bottles from the end of the lettuce you just had. Put it in there and add water. You need to learn how to start providing for yourself and stop relying on the mini mart. Now, I went into the supermarket today. Haven't been out of here in 4 or 5 days, and I just wanted to check on the situation. I was in the biggest produce section I've ever been in, completely alone today. Completely stocked with fruits and vegetables, just no people. There were no toilet paper, there was no paper towels, there was no canned beans, but there was 400 tons of fresh food, cheese, meats, fish, and everything I could ever want. But the entire center of the supermarket was missing. This is the section of the supermarket that has no nutritional value, no real food value, and is completely useless for your entire family, unless you want to make them diabetic and sick. Cereal aisle was low. All the GMO, artificial color, garbage is now in everyone's home, and that's what they're eating. Good job, America. Be safe. We love you. Not everyone's as dumb as those people, by the way.